Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode 7 of Crime UnWINEd with Aixa and Denise.
Hey.
Today we have some exciting news.
Yes.
We have some very exciting news. We officially have our very first sponsor.
Hey.
Our sponsor is Mark and Val's Wine of York, PA. A little bit about them. Mark and Val's Wine exists to celebrate and promote Black excellence and inclusion in the wine industry.
Yes.
They are committed to the community by offering high quality small batch wines that showcase the talents of Black winemakers.
Yes.
Their urban winery provides customers with a welcoming space to discover and enjoy thoughtfully crafted wines that honor their heritage. They deliver on their promise through an accessible tasting room, wine club. I didn't even know they had a wine club. An online shop that makes their wines available to all.
Yes.
If you want to go and visit them, they are located, or their wine tasting room is located on 1205 East Philadelphia Street in York, PA. And every Saturday they are located at Penn Street Farmers Market. So make sure you follow them on all social media platforms. And we'll definitely link all contact information on this video.
Yes.
So a very, very huge thank you to Mark and Val Wine.
Hey, yes, so thanks to Mark and Val. So today's wine from Mark and Val Wines is the Pinot Noir. So the Pinot Noir is a dry red wine. It's an elegant wine brand that encompasses the essence of sophistication. So it's encased in a tastefully designed label featuring the words in bold black letters. Their wine stands as a testament to the exceptional craftsmanship of their winery. Experience the harmonious blend of flavors and aromas with each sip, as this remarkable Pinot Noir takes you on a delightful journey of indulgence. You ready? Cheers. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Look at you.
This is not bad at all.
So as we said in our last episode, I don't know if you guys remember, but she was scared,
I was
a little
so
bit scared
scared
to try the drier red wines. Now we've tried a lot of the sweeter wines, and we prefer the sweeter wines, and you know, we've been talking about expanding our palate
But
and
this
looking into trying other flavors, and this is actually really
this is
really
very,
good.
very, very, very good. Very good. Make sure you hit them up. Pinot Noir. Make sure to, try that flavor, and they do have a very wide variety
Yes, a lot
of flavors. And again, they're local minority business, small business.
and support.
Go support
Absolutely.
them, okay? All right, so let's get into it. Today you guys got a twofer. So we are gonna have two rather short cases, but both rather disturbing, to say
Very
the least.
disturbing.
To say the least.
Ironically, on Mother's Day, these two women were definitely not gonna get the award for Mother of the
Oh,
Year.
absolutely not.
That
That
was
is
working
so
for Mother's
crazy.
Day.
Yeah, they definitely don't deserve the award. They do not get. They don't even have honorable mentions. Okay.
The Lord.
These women are seriously, like these women. So let's go ahead and just get into it, all right?
Yes.
So the first woman, her name is Michelle Kalina. She was a nurse's aide from the Reading, Pennsylvania area.
Okay.
Michelle did attend Albright College for 3 semesters before getting married in 1986 at the young age of 19. So she did get married very, very young. Michelle and husband Jeffrey would have 2 children together, a daughter, Elizabeth, and a son, Andrew. Andrew suffered cerebral palsy and did have a serious developmental delay. Unfortunately, he would die of natural causes in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty sad.
How old was he? I think he was 13.
Was it 13 or 14? Yeah, very, very young. Very, very unfortunate. But Michelle was said to have an exceptional work ethic. She would work upwards of up to 70-hour weeks.
Wow.
Jeffrey was disabled, and he would become the stay-at-home father,
Okay.
to help raise the kids and, run the household.
Okay.
Unable to work, obviously Michelle had to be the breadwinner. But Michelle was hiding secrets. She was hiding very dark secrets. There was a specific closet. I'm not sure where exactly it was located in the home, but Michelle would forbid her daughter Elizabeth and her husband to open it. They would always be like, oh, well, what's behind here? No, don't open it. She would say, it's just a lot of junk in the closet. You know what I mean? Like, just, I'll get to it. Whenever I get to it, I'll go ahead because it needed some cleaning. That's what she would tell them.
That's what she would say.
Exactly, right. So, as we all know, telling kids to not do something is to basically be like, yeah, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? So curiosity did get the best of Elizabeth, and she finally did open the door. And what she would find was a very disturbing discovery. Elizabeth would call the police. The police came, and she told them that she had found what looked like human remains. The police did arrive at the house, said the remains were not human, and that they believed that they could have been animal bones. And they went on their merry little way. However, not too long after, Elizabeth will call back and to say that she had made a separate discovery. Police came back, and at that point, they did determine that the remains were in fact decomposing human remains. The remains were found concealed in storage containers and an insulated cooler, and there was even a body that was found encased in concrete.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, now these bodies would be babies. Okay, they would all be babies. Now you could sit and think like, okay, she has a long marriage, a long-term marriage with her husband Jeffrey. She has 2 children. One passed away, one Elizabeth. Why the hell would there be babies remains in this closet?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like what's really going on? These babies were the product of a long affair with a co-worker that began in 1996.
Wow.
Yeah. Which would make sense though that she had the affair, because I was listening to another podcast, and they kind of played a little bit of what Jeffrey was saying at the trial, later on at the trial. And he would say that he hadn't seen his wife naked in 18 years.
Oh wow.
So it would be easy to conceal the pregnancies. If you don't see your wife, how could you, because you would think, how the hell did you hide 6 pregnancies, ma'am? But that's why, because they hadn't, I guess, been intimate in the last 18 years.
Wow.
So these babies, Michelle did, out of 6, she put 1 up for adoption at the Reading Hospital. And that one did later test, DNA test showed that the girl was the daughter of her lover. 4 of the babies were essentially stillborn, and 1 had moved, but Michelle believed that she wrapped the towel too tight, causing the death of this baby.
On purpose?
I guess we'll never know.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, authorities did determine that the 4 babies were killed in a manner of consistent with asphyxia, poisoning, or neglect.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they went to trial, and on trial, Dr. Gottlieb, I'm not sure, I believe, and if I'm not mistaken, and if anyone of you know exactly, but I believe this was a psychiatrist that she was going to see. So he did go and testify, and he would describe Michelle as an alcoholic who was intoxicated during the births and does not fully recall what took place. Now that's bullshit. It was added that she also suffered from depression and other mental issues, suggesting that Michelle, look at this, here, just listen to this. Michelle puts memories of the babies in a psychological closet, as she would put their remains in a physical one. So,
No.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Her public defender, Holly Feeney, would try to seek leniency on grounds that Kalina had learned to deny reality. as she endured severe physical and sexual abuse as a child, which I also think is bullshit. I mean, it is kind of a red flag that you weren't intimate with your husband for 18 years, but then it's kind of explain or it's able to, how do I put this? You can explain why, because you had a lover, so you weren't getting it from your husband, but you had someone, you know what I mean? It wasn't like she was unattached completely. Then maybe that, you know, the fact that she would deny reality would kind of be explained or kind of make sense, but it doesn't. So Jeffrey would testify that he still loved his wife and that he would have raised the lover's children had he known about them.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he says that because it didn't happen. So
Yeah,
exactly.
You
can't really. I don't know. Maybe he would have. Maybe he wouldn't have. I wonder, did her lover know at all about any of these pregnancies?
So he did have suspicion of one. Is that what you're saying?
The lover or the husband?
No. Well, the lover didn't want to testify. The lover didn't want to have any.
He didn't want to be called.
No. There was numerous phone calls, you know, of reporters that were looking to interview him.
He wasn't even identified, was he?
Never identified. Never wanted to do anything, you know, having to do anything with all this mess. But he was suspicious. The husband, Jeffrey, was suspicious of one pregnancy back in 2003. But I guess his daughter kind of rejected that idea like that.
Okay.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't crazy.
He wasn't. But on August 4th, 2011, Michelle would plead guilty to third-degree murder for one of the 5 infants and abuse of corpse for all 5, which is so fucked up to me because you didn't get murder for them because they couldn't determine because the bodies were
so decomposed. All right. So our second case here, Andrea Curry Demas. So Andrea Curry Demas met her victim, Kia Johnson, in July of 2008 while they were both visiting inmates at the Allegheny County Jail. So this was in Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania. Johnson was visiting her unborn, Johnson was pregnant, 18 years old, pregnant. She was visiting her unborn son's father in the Allegheny County Jail, and Curry Demas was visiting her husband. Curry Demas befriended Johnson by offering her baby clothes for her unborn son. So on July 15th, 2008, Curry Demas offered Johnson a ride home from the prison. But instead, Curry Demas took Johnson to her own Wilkinsburg apartment. Instead of taking her home, she took her back to her place. It was there that Curry Demas drugged her, bound her with duct tape, and cut the baby from her womb. She wrapped Johnson's body in more tape, plastic wraps, plastic bags, and a comforter before stuffing it in the space between the wall and her bed. Johnson died from a combination of blood loss and suffocation. After she did this, Curry Demas then called her sister, who lived in the same building as she did, and told her she had given birth.
Oh my god, what a piece of shit.
Backstory. So you see, in November of 2007, Curry Demas went to see her doctor to take a urine test, a urine pregnancy test, to see if she was pregnant. Test came back positive. So the doctor informed Curry Demas.
Curry Demas?
Curry Demas.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Andrea Curry Demas took a urine pregnancy test back in November of 2007 to see if she was pregnant. That test did come back positive. So when the doctor informed her, yes, the urine test came back positive, she told her, but sometimes these tests do give false readings, and that additional blood test was required just to be sure. Now, after that, the blood test was given, and it turned out that Curry Demas was not pregnant. Now, her family was present when she received the call from the doctor letting her know that the urine test was positive, but she never told her family about the blood test. Never.
So they assumed that she was still pregnant?
Yes, they did. So instead, she told her family that she was due in late June, and her family immediately started planning her baby shower. She even showed her family pictures of an ultrasound. She told her mom that she would be induced in late June, but when that date came and went, her mom was like, what's going on?
Where's the baby?
She told her mom, I don't know, something's wrong. Okay. On July 14th, she called her mom and told her she was having contractions. Her mom rushed over to her along with her sister and a friend. They stayed with her for most of the night, but they left around 11 p.m. when they noticed that there was no progression.
Okay.
You know, she wasn't in labor just yet.
Yeah.
The next morning, on the 15th, July 15th, remember this date from before? July 15th, after calling her sister, like I said, she called her mom at work to tell her that she had delivered. So her mom rushed back to her apartment, and again, she noticed that there was blood on Curry Demas and her sister, as well as blood in the bathroom. The baby was actually on the couch, umbilical cord still attached.
Oh my God.
So mom called 911, and Curry Demas was transported to the hospital. So they examined the baby, who was still not clean from being delivered, but she wouldn't let the doctors examine her. She said, "No, you're not going to touch me."
I wonder why.
But after several tests, the doctors were able to confirm that Curry Demas had not given birth and that that baby was not hers. So when her mom was like, "What's going on?" she said, "Mom, I bought the baby." The doctors called authorities. The authorities were called, and when they questioned her, she said she bought the baby for $1,000 from a crackhead named Tina. Okay. So it seems as though mom, her sister, and even the EMS overlooked the bedroom while they were in Curry Demas's apartment when they picked her up to transport her to the hospital
where Johnson was.
Where Johnson's body was. She was stuffed behind that bed and that wall. So it wasn't until 2 days later when her neighbors called the authorities about a foul odor coming from Curry Demas's apartment that they actually found Johnson's body. So during the trial, defense attorneys presented Curry Demas as mentally ill. They said that she wasn't guilty by reason of insanity. This is the plea that they were trying to, present exactly, claiming she was operating under severe psychosis when she cut the baby from the womb. They stated that she suffered from delusions and other disorders for years. So one of the main delusions that her defense tried to say she had is described as suffering what she believed was experiencing a number of pregnancies and miscarriages. So I guess this wasn't the first time she done told people she was pregnant. So the courts did show that Curry Demas had become pregnant at the age of 12.
Wow.
And that she miscarried 4 months later. She supposedly had a second miscarriage in 1990 when she was 21 years old. So her doctor, Dr. Karen Velasquez, this is the same doctor that gave her that urine pregnancy test and the blood test, told the court, she did testify in court during her trial, that she saw Curry Demas regularly over the course of 9 years, and that to her knowledge, Curry Demas never had been pregnant or miscarried that she knew of. She also wasn't aware of any mental issues that Curry Demas suffered. Now prosecutors, they said Curry Demas should not be excused from first-degree murder charge because she had mental health issues. They argued that she wasn't insane and that she knew exactly what she was doing because she's done it before. She's done it before. So in May of 1990, she had been sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for stabbing a pregnant woman in a plot to steal her unborn baby.
Only 3 to 10 years?
Only 3 to 10 years. But she didn't kill the lady. She survived and she wasn't able to take her baby from her womb.
I mean, I know,
but she tried it before. Tried it before. And she also actually abducted a 3-week-old baby from a hospital. So she went to jail for this. She's done this before. At least attempted to do this before. Now that baby that she did steal from the hospital was recovered unharmed, fortunately, so they did find her.
So when they did that, when she did that, was that when she got the 3 to 10? Did she get any time for that?
I'm not. She got time for the stabbing of the pregnant.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure they added some time in there for.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
So she's done it before. So how can you claim mental insanity?
She had a goal. This was a goal.
Yes, this was a plan. Apparently, it did not work the first time you tried it. Now the second time, she followed through and completed it. Unfortunately for Miss, Tia Johnson. Unfortunately. So on May 17, 2010, the judge did find her guilty of second-degree murder, but they did find her mentally ill. Now it does carry a mandatory life sentence. He also tacked on 20 years for the kidnapping, saying it would be a huge injustice if you ever released into society. So they want to make sure that she stays behind bars.
Because she doesn't do it again, because she will.
Because she would.
She absolutely will.
Because she would. So she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
That's insane.
Yeah. So we have a baby killer and a womb snatcher.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
It's crazy.
Ooh.
It's crazy. But if I'm not mistaken, unless there was multiple of these type of cases, these are the ones that I've seen like on these like ID channel,
Yes.
like these documentaries or whatever.
Yep.
I've seen an episode where there was a lady, I can't remember because this was a while ago. She cut her open, and I'm not sure if the woman died, so I don't know if it's based on this one, but there are people that want to do this, that are desperate to have a baby, or the obsession
Yes.
of becoming a
Pregnant.
mother.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That they're willing to do anything to anybody, and that's scary.
It is scary. It is scary. And then we have women that have babies that don't need to be having babies, and
It's
sue
like
them. It's insane. So we have two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is so unfortunate.
Wow.
All right, guys. Well, that was all for this episode.
Today.
Hey, join us next time.
And again, thank you to Mark and Val's
Yes.
Wines. Thank you. And we'll catch you next time, episode 8.
Bye.